I'm John Kovach. I've been a newsman, a sports announcer, and a football coach, but the one constant, since I was old enough to stand next to a stream with my dad, has been fishing. I've waded rapids, stood on slick rocks, hacked through ice, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do, and join me on this journey. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop this Thursday, February 23rd. Hard to believe, but the next show will be an anniversary because this show started on February 28th. I think we'll be starting our fourth season of this. Our seasons run the full year. One of the good things about that is it gets us out there in all kinds of weather. So was supposed to get together with a bunch of friends up in Massachusetts. Would have been not last Sunday, the Sunday before. The Sunday that it snowed, that they got buried, that we all dealt with it. And that was postponed. And it was postponed for a week. And we ended up out on one of those days when it was pushing 60 degrees this last Sunday. Ton of guys out on the Swift. A lot of people fishing, taking advantage of a taste of spring in February. And it ended up being one of those special trips out. My first visit to some of the holes there on the Swift, which is just a gorgeous fishery. And we had some very special times, and we're going to share those right now. I mean, the thing is, if you catch one on a day like this, it's epic. You talk about it. Boy, this is packed down. Been a lot of people back here. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you've never been here?
No. No.
This is the life pool on your right. So you hear all about it.
Yep.
How you doing, bud? The Spirit River knockoff material. See what happens.
Yeah.
I use big old hooks.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, they gotta be tiny hooks.
What is that, a 10?
I don't know. It's pretty big.
It's a big hook.
These are all different materials. This is the stuff that little kids rub. The rubber
wristbands.
Yeah. And this is stuff called jelly cord from Michael's Crafts.
Yeah.
That stuff, it's not bendy. One of those I caught the 8 fish on in here.
Nice.
So it's not all about bendy. And don't believe anything you hear. Over there, I'll have to show you. It's a weird spot where the wide pool is. It's deep, and beyond it, it's just weird. And fish hang out over there because they're hard to reach.
Oh, I'm sure.
But you can get at them from the rocks.
Right where the ice stops intrigues me. Right where that layer of ice stops.
Yeah, they probably sit under there.
I'm sure they do, because that's what a lot of them do in the Housatonic.
Well, they get eagles, osprey,
yeah.
Otters.
It's safe there.
Otters have decimated this place.
Really?
A couple times. All right, so that thing stays on there, the rubber
Right.
part. What's up, brother?
Nothing much.
See any fish?
Yeah, there's a few of them, but they're on a diet.
Wait till it warms up a little bit.
They don't want a
Seriously?
huge ass streamer.
Yeah, I
Oh,
put a
you
little.
stepped down even.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I like to have this a distance where it's a little bit longer than it needs to be.
Mhm.
If you decide you want to change it, just loosen, slide.
Okay.
That's it. So
Okay.
now we're gonna do this.
Literally on the edge of the Quabbin Reservoir here in Massachusetts. And this looks like a great little spot here that we're going to try.
Whether you're left or right, either way, it's the same thing. Okay? It's basically, so you're watching the indicator, right? What you're going to do, you're right up here. You're going to hold it up. You're going to hold this up. So the indicator is not being pulled out of the water, but you haven't. Well, we'll just find. We'll see if you're comfortable with the amount of line that you have. So, and sometimes it'll hook on stuff and you can help you get it out of it. I'm gonna put that thing up. I'm gonna lower that.
Oh man, I'm coming down.
Okay, let's get him good in the net. Okay. Flip over. Alright, turn around. We gotta get, let's not lose him. We gotta get some shots. The whole, we'll turn the net around so we can. Alright, 2 hands on the net. Alright, let's get this so we really gotta get this. Not lose him. Here, put him back in the water for a minute.
George, look up at me. Actually, I want the two of you. Hold him up a little. Turn the net a little bit, George.
You can't see his face. Drop. Let it drop. Let him in the water. Put him in the water, but keep the net up. So just give him a little bit of let go. Yeah, let's just give him.
You know what? I would, but I don't have a good idea.
Let me just get him in the net so the colors are so beautiful. Oh my God, George.
Okay, well let it drop and it'll be fine. That way it's a clean shot. Okay?
That is a beautiful fish.
It is a beautiful fish. I am fucking amazed and so happy.
So George Dunham and David and I were so happy to see him catch that fish. He releases it. I wish I had a better angle. The fish is a little low on the screen here. But the fish swam and just found another fish to hang out with. And I hoped for better underwater footage, but I did get some. They were still catching. This is a guy in the pool above. He caught a smaller one, but that is just a beautiful fish. And I know David was 10 times as happier than I was for George. And I'm just so happy for George that he caught that second cast. Great day. Sometimes you just want to see somebody else catch a fish. You want them to have that experience. And I couldn't be happier or prouder than to have been there when George caught that fish, and to see him catch it was just an awesome Sunday. And that's thanks to David and George and all the other really good friends of mine who were up there. When we come back, we're going to visit the hatcheries in Connecticut and where they sit among state funding and budgets on Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Skep Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, skepchryslerjeep.com or skepdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month, now through February 28th.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesThrowCT.com.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop this Thursday, February 23rd. Almost spring, and I'm excited for that. We just had a visit to the Connecticut Council of Trout Unlimited by Bill Hyatt, who's Chief of the Bureau of Natural Resources for the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and Peter Aristed, who is the Director of the Fisheries Division. They've merged inland and marine just recently, and talked about the funding of fishing and where your license fees go. And if you haven't watched the February 16th episode, very educational in terms of where the money goes and what the state can and cannot do in terms of spending the money that you spend on your fishing licenses. Whenever the budget cuts are raised, the hatcheries are immediately a cause for concern because Kensington Hatchery was targeted not long ago, and because Kensington Hatchery is so crucial to not only the state stocking program, but to the trout in the classroom programs that introduce so many kids, not just to fishing, but ecology and the importance of cool, clear water and clean water. So during their visit to the Connecticut Council of Trout Unlimited on January 25th, Bill and Peter spent some time talking about the hatcheries and where they stand right now as we wait to figure out where the budget cuts will be for the next fiscal year. So I'm going to let them explain the status of the hatcheries in Connecticut.
The next slide talks about our inland fisheries expenditures. Used to be Inland Fisheries Division, now these are the inland fisheries expenditures as part of the overall fisheries division. And that's the whole point of that is simply to show you how those expenditures are divided up, particularly between our fish culture part of our program and all the rest of our program, which includes habitat, fish management, diadromous or migratory fish management, etc. So what you're looking at there is in the inland program, it is more than half of our expenditures are on fish culture. Also, the gray slice that you see down towards the bottom where you see Kensington at $518,000 in 2015. Remember, that's 2015. For 2016, and I'll get into it in a minute, that number is reduced by well over $200,000 due to the cuts that had to be implemented between 2015 and 2016. Quinnebog, as all of you know, is by far our biggest facility. We spend almost $2 million per year there raising trout. Overall, it raises somewhere between 65 and 70% of our total trout production. It's a facility that's going to be undergoing a facelift over the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, it's been a battle to get the project moving, but we had dedicated bond money to do an energy upgrade. It's essentially going to, in addition to saving a lot of money through reduced energy costs, it's going to be able to allow us to modernize the facility. It was designed to pump 5,000 gallons a minute. That's instantaneous flow, 24/7, every day of the year. Over time, for a variety of reasons, we have a series of wells and bedrock and gravel, 14 wells in total. Don't use them all the time, but wells they deteriorate, and even when there's a process called rejuvenation or cleaning, never brings them back 100%. We're sitting on a tremendous aquifer there. The water is there. It's just hard to get out. Got some iron and magnesium issues as well. But the point I was going to make is that our flow rates through the hatchery are at historic lows right now. That's affecting us because we need to recirculate water. When you do that, there's a threat to getting pathogens introduced, and you're reusing water that's already gone through a series of ponds. I don't know if folks have been there. Our outside production ponds, we've got 40 of them. They're 50-foot diameter. We raise a tremendous amount of fish. And they're protected with netting to keep predatory birds out. We did have, but still there's a concern. So when we're pumping water back up to reuse it because we don't have enough water, we're really operating with some risk. And as part of this energy project, we are able to, the project's in design now with a professional consultant, but we're going to be getting modernized filtration and disinfection of that water that's used in the recirculation system. What it's going to allow us to do is have hopefully better looking trout. I'm not sure we're going to have more trout. They might be a little bit bigger, but we're going to greatly minimize the risk that we operate. And I know a lot of you have been at our hatcheries for various reasons with trout in the classroom and other things. It's a really, really tough business to be in. It's, I don't know that I could do it. We have staff that they live on site, and when the power goes out at 2 in the morning, they're there to keep the things going. In fact, the Connecticut River Salmon Association last weekend at their dinner on Saturday night awarded a President's Award to Al Sonsky. Al, as I think you know, retired from Kensington Hatchery last summer. And for his efforts, they wanted to award him.
So the bottom line of this project that's undergoing at Quinnebog, and we've been many years awaiting this, is it's going to increase the energy efficiency of the facility, save us hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in energy costs. It's going to put a recirculation system in place that's going to allow us to grow healthier fish and better quality fish and more fish than we currently can, to get back to closer to the numbers we were producing a few years ago.
I remember what I didn't talk about. We're going to have a temporary reduction in the number of fish that are being produced over a series of years. Part of that now, it's already started, unfortunately, and that's actually due to another maintenance project that's going on. The way those ponds work, you have sumps on the side, and they're, the place was built in the early 70s. Concrete doesn't last forever. So right now, out of those 50-foot production ponds, 5 of them are dry because we had, you're raising fish year round, but when you have to repair these sumps that are adjacent to the ponds, you can't have water in the pond. So right there, that limited our production by some, and a lot of our staff in fish management over the last week, we've been crunching numbers and trying to figure out how to best address, providing great fishing this year, but maybe being a little smarter in how we allocate the fish to different waters. So a lot of brain power is going into it. We don't always agree on all the decisions, but a lot of people are putting some serious thought into it. And because the fact is, compared to the last few years, we will be stocking fewer catchable sized trout this year and for a few years beyond. And part of that was the reduction at Kensington that we alluded to. We had to cut production there. Savings come in reduced feed costs and reduced electrical costs. Because like Quinnebog, which is entirely a groundwater facility driven by pumps, Kensington is the same way. Burlington's a little different operation. It's not as reliable because you got to rely on Mother Nature a lot more, and she hasn't been really kind to us lately with the drought and other things and really hot water or higher water temperatures. So that's what we've got going in the 3 hatchery system.
So this is what we did in 2016. And you can look through the details, came out to $800,000. Obviously, we eliminated, you'll see them scattered through those items. We eliminated a lot of seasonal positions that we normally hire. A total of 19 were cut, 19 position equivalents were cut within the Bureau of Natural Resources. When I say position equivalents, seasonals are hired, the position is, they're paid a modest hourly rate, $11, $12, $13 an hour, and they're hired for 35 hours a week, roughly for 35 hours a week for 6 months. And we had to eliminate the equivalent of 19 of those positions. In some cases, we eliminated positions outright. In other cases, we made them, reduced them to 3-month or 4-month positions. The objective was to meet the budgetary targets. Pete already mentioned the cuts, the first item, the $119,000 in cuts at Kensington and Quinnebog Hatchery that were made partially by eliminating seasonals, partially by reducing our production capacity at Kensington, eliminating some programs and thereby saving food and electrical costs. That one was not something we would have chosen on our own, but we also had lost 2 maintainers positions the year before, and had the fish hatchery supervisor retire this past year as well. And we aren't able to replace positions that are lost. So not only did we have to make up savings, but we simply didn't have the staffing capacity to run it commensurate with how we ran it in previous years.
So you're going to go forward with the salmon stamp?
It's going to be in the regs package, provided that we get approval from others.
Okay.
To run with that.
So this is sort of like a 2-part question.
Yeah.
If you're going to go forward with a salmon stamp, that means the Kensington hatchery is safe?
That's what we're trying to,
Right.
that's the message.
Right, that's the message.
That's the message. It's an important part of that. We're trying, that revenue enhancement is intended to do 2 things. One, when we look to enhance revenue, we're hoping, can't be certain, we're hoping to offset
Right.
cuts, but 2, we needed a message regarding the hatchery system, which had been repeatedly in the hit
Attacked.
list.
Right, because salmon basically raised in Kensington, that salmon only exists, they don't exist anywhere else in the world. That salmon has basically, adapted to the Connecticut River warm waters. So if they close the Kensington hatchery, salmon go away, that's it. They're done. They're never coming back, like the sea for all browns.
That's a point that NOAA made when the
Right.
salmon restoration ended. NOAA, National Marine Fisheries Service, urged us to try to maintain that genetic line for as long as possible, because they were convinced that adaptations had developed and
Sure.
had become part of the genetics of that strain, if you will.
There'd be hurdles as well, because the only other Atlantic salmon in New England now are endangered. They're federally endangered, so there's no other hatchery product that we could use. So the sea forellens was an unfortunate situation, but I don't know if folks here are aware of it or not. We sent 100,000 eggs to the state of Maine, and they're going to be raising them in 3 different hatcheries. They trusted us, even though there were other sea forellens sources out there, and we've been sending them some eggs for years because they've been testing them. They like the way they perform. So our agreement with the state of Maine is when we're able to return to normal hatchery production, we would like to get our sea forellen strain, or it's going to take a few years, but we would like to get that going again. And that's why we had to make a tough choice.
Sure.
We couldn't get rid of the salmon and expect them back at some point.
Right.
And we couldn't continue to maintain 2 brood lines at that facility. So that's what we had to do.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Yankee Fisherman. We will be right back to put a wrap on this week's show right after this. Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. If you do not have your tickets to the Fly Fishing Film Tour in Trumbull Friday night, get moving. As of early this morning, there were 40 left. So there aren't that many. If you want to see glorious scenes like these, like we discussed with Chris Kegg from Ridgefield on a recent Yankee Fisherman, go to Mianus TU or Candlewood Valley TU or the Nutmeg TU website and get your tickets, because they are going fast. This may sell out, and all of that money is going to help conservation projects in and around Fairfield County. Also this weekend, the Springfield Sportsman Show. That's up at the site of the Big E, obviously, in Springfield. We went up there last year. That's what this footage is from. I'm not going to be able to make it up this year. Kind of regret it. I know the guys from Any Bass, and they're going to introduce some new merchandise. Al Gaggs has some new lures. There's a lot of new stuff up there. The hours for the Springfield Sportsman Show are noon to 8 Friday, 9 to 7 on Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. Again, that's at the Big E. And one other thing, and this information is at fishingnortheast.net. Scott Garland from the Fishing Northeast Network has been sharing this, but it's a benefit for a young boy who's been diagnosed with a degenerative genetic disease. It's just an awful story to read, but we're looking for anglers to help out with a benefit that's going to be April 2nd from noon to 4 up in Terryville. we'll have more information, and I'm trying to do a segment on this just to help promote it. But again, that's at fishingnortheast.net, calling all anglers. So if you can help out there, that'd be great. That's going to do it for this episode of Yankee Fisherman. I'm actually going to be back at 2 when Frank Granito comes in, Kevin Coleman, Chris Cookso, and we're all going to break down the FCAC playoffs. We've got the girls' championship tonight, the boys' hockey play-ins, and boys' basketball quarterfinals Saturday. We're going to break down all of a chaotic February in the FCAC. We'll be back next Thursday with a new Yankee Fisherman. Till then, tight lines.